English Heritage say the new centre's aimed at giving people a much better experience before they get here to the stones themselves.
Unknown civilization living right here of Bronze Age people.
For centuries, the towering stones of Stonehenge have guarded one of history's most stubborn mysteries, leaving historians divided over whether it was a temple, a burial ground, an ancient calendar, or something far stranger. Now, a breakthrough has changed the conversation. Using advanced AI-driven 3D scanning, researchers mapped the monument down to microscopic detail, revealing hidden patterns carved deep within the stones. But what exactly did the technology uncover that stunned archaeologists? Because the system didn't simply examine the monument. In many ways, it decoded it. When the stones were finally read for generations, the towering circle of Stonehenge stood as one of the world's most studied yet least understood monuments. Archaeologists had measured it, mapped it, and debated it endlessly. But despite centuries of research, many questions remained locked inside the silent stones. Now, for the first time, a new kind of investigation was about to examine the monument in a way no human eye ever could. A joint team of British and American researchers launched what would become the most advanced digital survey ever attempted at the site. Their mission was simple in theory, but extraordinary in scale. Capture every possible detail of the monument and the landscape surrounding it. To achieve this, the team brought together a powerful collection of modern technologies rarely used together in archaeological work. Ground-penetrating radar was deployed first, sending pulses beneath the earth to reveal hidden layers buried deep under the soil. At the same time, LiDAR mapping systems scanned the entire surface of the monument using laser pulses, capable of measuring shapes and distances with astonishing precision. Drones flew carefully planned routes overhead, capturing thousands of overlapping photographs that would later be combined through photogrammetry to recreate the monument in 3 dimensions. On the ground, ultra-precise laser scanners slowly moved across the stones, recording even the smallest grooves, cracks, and tool marks. The result was extraordinary. Every visible surface of the monument was documented down to fractions of a millimeter. Nothing was too small to record. Tiny indentations left by ancient tools, slight curves in the stone surfaces, and even subtle shifts in alignment between the towering blocks were captured and preserved in the data. But the researchers did not stop with the stone circle itself. The survey expanded across the surrounding landscape of Salisbury Plain, one of Britain's most historically rich prehistoric environments. Fields, pathways, buried features, and distant earthworks were all included in the scan. Piece by piece, the entire region was reconstructed digitally. When the work was complete, the team had something remarkable: a fully detailed 3D digital twin of Stonehenge and its surrounding terrain. It was a model so precise that researchers could zoom in from miles above the plain down to microscopic scratches in the stone surfaces. Yet the most surprising moment came only after the data had been collected. The enormous dataset was fed into advanced pattern recognition artificial intelligence, software designed to analyze complex shapes, construction patterns, and engineering techniques used in ancient structures around the world. Within hours of processing the information, the system began highlighting something unexpected. Hidden patterns began appearing across the monument, patterns so subtle and complex that no archaeologist, surveyor, or historian had ever noticed them before. The AI wasn't simply mapping Stonehenge, it was beginning to reveal an underlying structure to the monument's design. And what those patterns suggested would soon challenge long-held assumptions about how the ancient builders planned and constructed one of the most mysterious landmarks on Earth. What secret designs lie buried within? Stonehenge's ancient stones, invisible to centuries of experts, yet emerging now through AI's lens. Could these hidden patterns rewrite everything we thought we knew about the monument's mysterious, deliberate architecture? Let's unravel the secret. The silent architecture hidden in the circle. As the massive digital model of Stonehenge was analyzed, artificial intelligence began revealing details long overlooked. Scholars had studied the monument's alignment with the sun and moon for centuries, meticulously noting how the stones corresponded to celestial events. Yet the AI approached the site differently. Its focus was not initially astronomical but architectural. examining the spatial relationships among the stones themselves. What it uncovered astonished even veteran researchers. The AI detected a network of narrow pathways subtly formed by the distances between the towering stones and the lintels resting across their tops. These were not obvious walkways, but hidden, spatial channels. Simulations suggested these gaps could influence the way sound moved through the monument. In multiple areas, the arrangement of stones appeared to guide sound waves along precise directions. Instead of scattering randomly, the sound traveled in focused ways. To explore this, researchers conducted acoustic simulations within the digital model. The results were striking. Certain standing stones seemed to reflect sound toward specific points inside the circle, while horizontal lintels shaped the movement of those waves. Together, they formed what scientists began calling acoustic corridors. In some simulations, sound produced at one location grew stronger as it traveled through these corridors. In other cases, echoes formed controlled pockets of resonance. The structure appeared capable of directing and amplifying sound deliberately rather than accidentally. This raised profound questions. If the simulations were accurate, Stonehenge's builders might have designed the monument with acoustic awareness. The stone arrangement could have created special zones where voices, drums, or ceremonial instruments carried farther or echoed uniquely. Even more remarkable was the precision suggested by the stonework. The AI analyzed the connections holding lintels above the upright stones, revealing the use of tongue-and-groove joints, a method thought to belong to much later architectural traditions. Each stone had been carefully carved and shaped to fit securely with its neighbors, indicating meticulous planning long before the stones were raised. This was not rough, improvisational construction. It was deliberate and sophisticated design. For many historians, these findings challenge conventional views of Neolithic engineering. Stonehenge was built thousands of years ago, in an era of simple tools and limited metal usage. Yet the AI patterns suggested capabilities far beyond what was previously imagined. If the acoustic effects were intentional, the builders possessed an advanced understanding of structure and sound that predates similar knowledge elsewhere in history. The interplay of standing stones, lintels, and spatial arrangement hints at a level of architectural and sensory foresight, astonishing for the time. Stonehenge may not only have marked the heavens, but also orchestrated the very sounds within its circle, creating an experience that was both visual and auditory. In combining centuries-old mystery with cutting-edge AI insight, researchers are forced to reconsider what we know about Neolithic intelligence. The monument's stones, once silent sentinels of time, may have been instruments themselves, carefully tuned to shape sound as well as sight. What if Stonehenge wasn't just a monument, but a masterful instrument? Could these ancient stones have been deliberately tuned to manipulate sound and challenge everything we thought we knew about Neolithic ingenuity and hidden intelligence? Let's find out. The craftsmanship, hidden in plain sight. As acoustic patterns revealed by artificial intelligence reshaped how researchers viewed Stonehenge, the focus shifted to a layer of the monument long present, yet rarely examined in detail. The AI's powerful digital model captured every ridge, groove, and tiny imperfection on the stones, allowing researchers to explore how the massive blocks were shaped thousands of years ago. What it uncovered added a new layer of intrigue. By analyzing microscopic tool marks across the stones, the AI identified at least 5 different stoneworking methods used in the monument's construction. Some techniques aligned with expectations of Neolithic builders. Pecking, where harder stones struck surfaces repeatedly to chip material, and grinding, where rough areas were smoothed through prolonged abrasion. These approaches matched the tools known to exist during that era: antler picks, hammerstones, and other simple implements, offering plausible explanations for how prehistoric communities prepared enormous stones for transport and assembly. Yet the AI soon highlighted anomalies that challenged conventional understanding. Certain areas exhibited unusually smooth curves far more refined than anticipated. These curves appeared along edges and structural points where stones connect, not as random smoothing. Measurements revealed astonishing accuracy. Some circular shapes deviated by less than 2 millimeters across spans exceeding 2 meters. Achieving this precision implied careful planning and repeated measurement, suggesting geometric planning rather than trial-and-error shaping. Even more striking were the comparisons across the monument's construction phases. Stonehenge evolved over centuries, with new stones added or rearranged at different times. By analyzing wear patterns and carving styles, the AI estimated which stones belonged to earlier phases and which were later additions. Surprisingly, the earliest stones demonstrated the highest precision, with carefully shaped surfaces and consistent curves. Stones added later displayed slightly rougher finishes, seemingly contradicting historical expectations that craftsmanship improves over time. This reversal implied that the initial builders may have possessed advanced knowledge and skill unmatched by subsequent generations. The AI suggested that Stonehenge's earliest architects achieved an extraordinary level of geometric accuracy, a feat that later craftsmen struggled to replicate. If this interpretation held, it challenged long-held assumptions about prehistoric construction and the capabilities of the people who first erected these enduring monuments on Salisbury Plain. Rather than gradual improvement, Stonehenge's evolution hinted at a peak of craftsmanship at its inception, leaving historians to reconsider not only the techniques employed, but also the ingenuity and intent of its earliest builders, an unsettling insight into a civilization whose expertise remains partially shrouded in the mists of time. Did Stonehenge's creators arrive fully formed in skill, bypassing gradual progress entirely? What hidden knowledge allowed such precision at the very start, and what secrets of an ancient, enigmatic civilization still linger, silently etched across the Salisbury Plain? Keep watching. The Journey of Stones, across an ancient land. The deeper researchers examined Stonehenge, the more the monument defied assumptions about its builders. AI analysis revealed extraordinary precision in shaping the stones, prompting a pressing question. If these ancient people could craft with such accuracy, how did they move and position massive materials without modern machinery? The investigation shifted from tool marks to the stones themselves. The most striking elements are the sarsen stones, enormous upright blocks forming the iconic circle. Each weighs around 25 tons and reaches nearly 30 feet once horizontal lintels are placed. Their scale alone challenges imagination, yet archaeologists believe these stones were transported from locations several miles across Salisbury Plain, requiring enormous coordination from Neolithic communities. Even more remarkable are the blue stones, scattered among the larger pillars. Geologically distinct and traced to the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 150 miles away, these stones reveal a journey far beyond what practical explanation alone might suggest. Ancient builders had only simple tools: antler picks to loosen rock, stone hammers to shape surfaces, and wooden rollers or sledges to transport the blocks. Large labor groups, possibly mobilized during seasonal or ceremonial gatherings, could have moved the stones incrementally towards Stonehenge. For decades, these practical explanations sufficed. But AI-driven digital reconstructions added new complexity. Examining the stone's final positions, the system detected precise geometric patterns suggesting deliberate planning. Stones were not merely raised wherever convenient. Their locations followed subtle spatial relationships echoing the monument's broader structural design. If this interpretation holds, the builders were doing far more than moving rocks. They were arranging each stone with accuracy that demanded careful preparation, repeated measurement, and a clear understanding of the final layout before construction began. The process would have required foresight, coordination, and sophisticated planning. Yet a puzzling gap remains. Physical evidence of tools or methods matching the scale of such a massive endeavor is scarce. Few remnants show exactly how the stones were lifted or adjusted into place. Despite this, the monument itself is undeniable proof. The sarsens and bluestones still rise from Salisbury Plain, precisely where they were positioned thousands of years ago, their massive weight and meticulous arrangement continuing to baffle modern understanding. Stonehenge stands as a testament to Neolithic ingenuity, blending monumental labor with subtle design. Every stone silently narrates the ingenuity, planning, and coordination of communities long vanished, leaving a puzzle that continues to challenge archaeologists, historians, and engineers alike. Its enduring presence prompts us to reconsider what ancient societies were capable of, merging practical skill with visionary precision in a feat that still resonates across millennia. Could there be a hidden blueprint lying beyond Stonehenge's iconic circle, whispering secrets of Neolithic masterminds whose vision stretched far beyond mere stones? And might we finally decipher the genius that has eluded centuries of scholars and engineers? Stay with us. The vast design hidden beyond the circle. The discoveries inside Stonehenge had already revealed unexpected patterns in craftsmanship, structure, and planning. Yet the digital reconstruction created through artificial intelligence held far more information than just the monument's towering pillars. The entire surrounding region had been captured in remarkable detail, stretching across the ancient landscape of Salisbury Plain. When researchers began exploring that larger model, they started to notice something that extended the mystery far beyond the stone circle. At first, the patterns seemed subtle. Small earthworks scattered across the plains appeared to align with one another in ways that had not been clearly visible before. Some of these features had been known to archaeologists for years. Others had remained hidden beneath the soil, detectable only through ground-penetrating radar and LiDAR scans that revealed shapes buried just below the surface. When these features were placed together inside the digital model, a larger picture slowly began to form. Stonehenge did not appear to stand alone in isolation. Instead, the monument seemed connected to a network of prehistoric structures spread across miles of open terrain. Ancient ditches, circular banks, and long linear pathways began to align with one another in repeating patterns. Some of these routes appeared to guide movement through the landscape, forming what researchers believe may have been ceremonial or processional paths used by people thousands of years ago. The artificial intelligence system analyzed the geometry of these alignments and discovered that many of them followed consistent spatial relationships. Distances between sites repeated in recognizable proportions, while certain pathways pointed toward specific points on the horizon. When researchers compared these directions with astronomical data, another intriguing possibility emerged. Several of these alignments appeared to correspond with important solar events. Paths and features in the landscape seemed to orient toward the rising or setting sun during key moments of the year. This connection between the earthworks and the movement of the sun suggested that the broader landscape might have been used not only for ceremonies, but also as a way of observing the cycles of the sky. If this interpretation is correct, the towering stones of Stonehenge may represent only one part of a far larger system. The monument could have served as a focal point within a complex network of sacred spaces spread across the plains. Travelers moving along these ancient routes might have passed through a series of connected sites, each playing a role in seasonal gatherings or ritual events tied to the natural rhythms of the sun. What once appeared to be a single mysterious monument now seemed increasingly connected to the entire landscape surrounding it. The stones rising from the earth might have marked the heart of a much broader design, one that stretched across fields and valleys long before written history began to record the lives of the people who built it. The deeper the researchers explored the digital reconstruction of Salisbury Plain, the more it appeared that Stonehenge was not simply placed within the landscape. It may have been carefully positioned as the central point of a pattern far larger than the monument itself, a design that ancient builders shaped across miles of terrain with remarkable intention. What if Stonehenge was never meant to stand alone? Could this iconic circle be the heart of a vast hidden design spanning miles, an ancient pattern deliberately etched into the landscape? What secrets did these builders leave behind? Stay glued. The forgotten skill behind the stones. The AI-driven analysis had uncovered precise engineering, unusual acoustic behavior, and geometric patterns stretching across the surrounding terrain of Salisbury Plain. Yet the deeper scientists studied the monument's construction history, the more they encountered a conclusion that felt both surprising and unsettling. Archaeologists have long understood that Stonehenge was not built in a single moment. The monument developed gradually, across different phases of activity, with stones added, moved, and rearranged over many centuries. Each stage reflected the people who lived in the region at that time. Normally, when historians examine structures built over long periods, they expect to see evidence of progress. Tools improve, techniques become more refined, builders learn from earlier work and push their skills even further. But the AI analysis suggested something very different. When the system examined the surfaces, shapes, and connections of the stones, it began organizing them according to the likely phases in which they were placed. By comparing the carving marks, surface finishing, and structural precision across these phases, the artificial intelligence identified patterns that few researchers had previously noticed. The earliest construction stages appeared to contain some of the most carefully crafted stones in the entire monument. These blocks showed remarkable precision in their shaping. Their curves followed consistent patterns, their joints fit tightly together, and their surfaces revealed signs of deliberate finishing. The earlier builders seemed to possess a deep understanding of how the stones would interact with one another once assembled. In contrast, some of the stones added during later periods displayed slightly less exact shaping. The craftsmanship was still impressive by ancient standards, but it did not always match the remarkable accuracy seen in the earliest work. Small variations in angles, edges, and surface finishing began to appear. This pattern puzzled researchers. Instead of showing steady improvement over time, the monument appeared to reveal a subtle decline in technical precision. The earliest builders may have had access to a level of knowledge or skill that later generations struggled to maintain. For historians, this observation opened the door to several possible explanations. One possibility is that the original builders possessed specialized knowledge that was gradually lost as communities changed and traditions faded. Skills that may once have been carefully taught from one generation to the next could have slowly disappeared as the people who carried that knowledge passed away. Another possibility is that the builders inherited their techniques from an earlier culture, whose traditions stretched back even further into prehistory. If that were the case, the monument might preserve the final expression of skills that had already begun to vanish long before the last stones were placed. Whatever the explanation, the evidence suggests that the earliest phases of construction may represent the highest point of technical mastery within the entire project. The stones rising from the open landscape of Salisbury Plain could therefore be more than just an ancient monument. They might also be the final surviving record of a sophisticated tradition of knowledge that gradually slipped out of human memory, leaving behind only the silent geometry of the circle as proof that such expertise once existed. So, what do you think? Has AI finally uncovered the true secrets of Stonehenge? Or are its greatest mysteries still hidden in the stones? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.